You must be sworn in to speak at today's proceedings. Do you solemnly swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Thank you. At this time, please silence all your devices. Our first case is on page 15. Inspector Alexander Arbores. Property address 101 Southwest 22nd Ave. Owner, Apex Homes Group, LLC. Case number CE 200-70513. This case was cited on 7/17/20 to comply by 11/20/20. One section complied at $250. Fines are at $41,750, which continues, no, it's not accruing. City is requesting to impose a full amount. Appeal deadline was 8/1/20. No appeal received.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. Inspector Alvarez, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. Case was complied as of May 7, 2021. The city is requesting for fines to be imposed.
Anyone here on behalf of the owner?
Yes. Hi. We respectfully request that the fines be waived. We feel that we've complied with everything that Inspector Alvarez has requested that we do.
Okay, was this a citation? All right. Okay. All right, this was a citation. You had the opportunity to appeal. The appeal deadline was August 1st of last year. No appeal was taken. And under the Fort Lauderdale ordinance, the violation is admitted, and the ordinance says the magistrate shall then at that point impose the fine. Under the ordinance, I'm going to impose the fine. Now, yeah, ma'am. Okay, better? Okay. Now, there is a procedure that they will discuss with you to reduce the fine, right? But it's a procedure you have to file and et cetera. They will explain it to you, but you have that option, all right? But for right now, under the ordinance, I'm required to impose the fine. Thank you.
Our next case is a new business case on page 5. Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 1016 Northeast 13th Ave. Owner, Medici Properties LLC. Case number BE 21060138. Notice posted at the property on 6/30/21. Posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Martinez representing the city. Case and address as read. I visited this property on June 29, 2021 and observed a very deteriorated carport. I took some pictures and came back to the office, and after consulting with my supervisors, we decided to deem the carport as unsafe. The property was cited under FBC 2020, section 116.1.1, unsafe structure, and also FBC 2020, section 105.1, work without permit. This case was opened on June 29, 2021. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on June 30, 2021. On July 6 of 2021, the owner, David, called me and informed me that they couldn't find the barrel roof tile. I asked him if he did do any work, and his answer was yes. I did an inspection in the property the day after and observed that they did work on the unsafe porch without permit. I informed the owner that a permit was required to do the repairs. We are asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 42 days to come into compliance or fines of $50 per day thereafter.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Dave Townsend.
All right, did you understand what this gentleman said?
Absolutely.
Have any disagreement or anything to add?
No, and he informed me this morning if I re-roof the whole house, it's going to be, the insurance is going to go down. So that's probably what's going to happen.
Very good. For the record, I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
The GC is already on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Honor.
Is that it? Thank you very much, sir.
Our next case is on page 10. Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 2437 Sugarloaf Lane, case number BE 210-20051. Owner Myron R. and Margie L. Crawford. This case was first heard on 5/20/21 to comply by 7/1/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting an extension to approve an extension from 7/2/21 to 8/2/21.
All right, okay.
Is there a respondent here for 2437?
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. The city is requesting for a 42-day extension and for fines to be stopped.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
I'm Myron Crawford. I'm the owner of the property. I was basically just showing up to make sure everything went through with the.
All right, very good. I'm going to grant the request to the, for the extension through 8/2/21.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 17. Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 1110 Southwest 31st Street, case number CE 201-00506. Owner Casper J. and Deborah L. Meyer. This case was first heard on 4/15/21 to comply by 6/17/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $1,350, which continues to accrue.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. This case is in compliance right now, and I'm going to let the owner speak.
Hi, good morning. Yes, so we took down the fence.
Yes.
And I believe you spoke with my husband and was going to stop by and confirm that.
Yes.
And we did.
Okay.
So the city is requesting to reduce the administrative fines to $258.
Okay, the property's not in compliance? Is now in compliance.
Did it comply? What date did it comply?
Yesterday.
Okay, so the city's request is,
Administrative cost of $258.
all right.
258?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, state your name, please.
Deborah Meyer.
All right, anything you want to add to what the gentleman said?
No, I'm in concurrence.
All right. Okay, I'm going to impose the fines, $1,350.
No.
258?
258.
258. 58.
$258. Thank you.
That's much better. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 17 also. Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 768 Northeast 13th Court, case number CE 201-00792. Owner, Asoko Bali East Condo Association, Inc. This case was first heard on 4/15/21 to comply by 5/27/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $1,750.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. Case is in compliance right now. The city is requesting for fines to be reduced to administrative cost of $258.
Okay, I'm sorry. The city's request is,
To reduce to administrative costs of $258.
all right. Okay, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Carlton Smith.
Okay, you understand what the gentleman said?
Yes, sir. I've worked with Mr. Martinez. The city's been great at helping me work this out.
All right, very good, thank you. I'm going to impose $258 administrative cost.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 15. Inspector Hector Suarez, property address 1897 Southwest 28th Ave. Owner Daniel Talon. Case number CE 200-70604. This case was first heard on 4/15/21 to comply by 5/27/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez presenting case as read. As of this date, this case is not in compliance. We have the respondent here to add any information.
Okay. Still not in compliance.
Still not in compliance, Your Honor. We do have a permit in process. It's BLD-RPAV-2106-0049. It's in process right now, but it's not issued. It's supposed to be issued. But there is progress.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Daniel Talon.
All right. Anything you want to add to what the gentleman said?
No, sir. I just want to let it known that I've done everything possibly that I can to try to get this resolved. Had a few hurdles, and
Okay.
I apologize.
Right, I'm going to grant the city's request that the fines be imposed and continue to accrue. All right.
I don't know. I was supposedly I was asking for a request of 42 days to try to get this done. I guess the permit. There's one small thing that has to be done to get the permit approved. Not sure.
Can you get a little closer to the microphone?
I'm sorry. I guess the permit is just a small thing that needs to be paid until the permit is issued. I'm not sure. I was talking with Mr. Suarez before about.
I'm sorry. Have you applied for the permits?
Yes.
All right.
Are you asking for an extension?
Yes. Thank you.
I think he's asking for an extension, Your Honor.
All right. Okay.
The city doesn't oppose. The city does not oppose to his extension.
How long do you need, sir, do you think?
42 days would be awesome. Thank you.
He's asking for a 42-day extension, Your Honor.
I'm going to grant a
Permits are in process.
42-day extension
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
and stay the fines as of this day.
Thank you.
10-4. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 1. It's a new business case. Chief George Oliva, property address 219 Southwest 31st Street. Case number BE 200400295. Owner Patricia Berry Revocable Trust. Curtis C. Berry Revocable Trust. Notice posted at the property on 6/26/21. Posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Good morning, Your Honor. Chief George Oliva, case and address as read. This is about the 40-year safety program, and they haven't submitted the report yet for the 40 years. So the city is going to ask for a 42 days extension for the property owner to comply and $100 per day thereafter.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. John David on behalf of the Patricia Berry Revocable Trust and Curtis Berry Revocable Trust. I've talked to the inspector, and as I understand, we'll get the 42-day extension to get the report in, and then we'll see where the report leads us.
All right. Excellent. I'm going to grant the city's request.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 16. Inspector Alexander Obores, property address 800 Northwest 10th Terrace. Owner Roy and Roy Inc. Case number CE 200-30389. This case was first heard on 12/8/20 to comply by 2/9/21. One section complied at $50. City is requested to impose the full amount of $4,600.
Inspector Arbores, on behalf of the city, case number and address is read. Case is complied as of May 13, 2021. The property owner was very cooperative and diligent in attempting to comply the case. City is requesting for fines to be waived.
All right, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
Good morning. My name is Nalini Trader. I'm speaking on behalf of my mother, the property owner. I've been communicating with Mr. Alvarez, and he's been very helpful. We have a person leasing the property, and my issues came up with
All right, I'm going to
him.
go.
And I am requesting the assessed fees to be fined or reduced. I mean,
Okay.
to,
The city has agreed to waive the fines, so I'm going to waive the fines.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day.
Our next case is a new business case on page 2, Inspector Alexander Arbores. Property address 2003 Northwest 62nd Street, 100. Owner, Capital Cypress LLC. Case number BE 210-20042. Notice posted at the property on 6/18/21. Posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Alexander Arbores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. I initially visited this property on February 11, 2021 to investigate a work without permit complaint as per fire inspector at Unit 106A and B. During this inspection, I met with tenant of both units, 106A and 106B, and photos of existing layouts were taken. After comparing existing photos of units 106A and B with latest approved floor plans on records, it was determined that Unit 106 was split into 2 units and interior alterations were done to Unit 106 without obtaining the required permits. Records show no permit application for this work. The property was cited for work without permit, FPC 2020, Section 105.1. The case was opened February 12, 2021. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on February 22, 2021, with 30 days to get into compliance. As of July 12, 2021, records show no permit application. I have spoken with property manager who has informed me that they are working with an architect who is preparing drawings and will apply for a permit once permit package is complete. City is requesting for the magistrate to find that the violations exist and grant the property owners 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. At this time, I will let the respondent speak.
How many days?
63 to come in compliance.
Right.
Or
All
a
right.
fine of $50 a day.
Sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Good morning. My name is Julio Leon. I represent the owner as a property manager.
All right.
Has been
Apparently, you have been in communication.
yes, I have. So I just want to say we purchased this property last year and we weren't really aware of this, what's going on. And we are definitely working with an architect to get all the plan, everything going on. So it's a little bit out of my control to to get the plans approved from the architect. So we're hardly working.
All right. So I'm going to, for the record, find the violation does exist. 62 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Can I ask for
63.
Your Honor? Can I ask for
63.
Can I ask for 90 days or 30 extra days?
Let's do 63 days. Let's stay in touch with this gentleman, okay?
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 3, Inspector Mary Rich. Property address 2001 Southwest 20th Street. Owner SHM LMC LLC, in care of Jason Hogg. Case number BE 201-00061. Notice posted at the property on 6/12/21. Posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Good morning, Your Honors. Inspector Rich for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case and address are as read. The property was inspected on May 12th, and a 10-day inspection report was given to the facility manager, John, at the location for the following violations. 47-19.9, there is storage containers not screened from abutting residential property at this industrial zone property. 47-19.1.b, no accessory use or structure may be located within a required yard specified by the zoning district where the development site is located, unless specifically by the ULDR. Inspection report was mailed to owner listed in Broward County records on May 14th, 2021 by administrative staff. As of the pre-hearing inspection on July 14th, the violation remains. The property owner is submitting a permit for the storage containers. I have had contact with Frank Gernart, who is the property representative, and they're working towards obtaining a permit for correcting it and getting the permit for the storage containers. The city is requesting 42 days or $50 per day thereafter, per violation.
Okay. All right, sir, if you'll state your name, speak right into the microphone.
Good morning. My name is Frank Gernert, and I'm property representative and director for Lauderdale Marine Centers.
All right, anything to add to what this lady said?
No, sir.
All right, for the record, I find that each violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 5. It's a new business case. Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 802 Southwest 14th Ave, owner 802 Southwest 14th Ave, LLC. Case number CE 20110261. Notice posted at the property on 6/22/21, posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Martinez, case and address as read. I visited this property and observed a garage located in the rear of the property, converted into an efficiency. There was a sink, kitchen cabinets, AC, wall AC, and no permit was found in the city for this type of work. Property was cited under FBC 2020, Section 105.1, work without permit. The violation in this case was found. An inspection report was mailed out to the property on November 18th of 2020. The final notice was mailed out in January 5th of 2021, and the notice of hearing was posted at the property on June 22nd of 2021. There was a permit applied for the demolition of the garage. The permit was voided on June 9th of 2021. There is a residential addition permit that was applied on June 24 of 2021. The permit is in process. We're asking Your Honor to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance of $50 or fines for $50 per day per violation per day thereafter.
All right,
Good
sir, are
morning.
you going to speak?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
State your name for the record.
Lazaro Din. I'm the property owner. It's my wife, Han Din.
All right. Anything you'd like to add to what this gentleman said?
Everything that he said, we're in agreement. We purchased the property. It just happens that we didn't find out about the violation until after we closed. And so we took on the problem from the past owner, and we're fixing it by making this happen right now.
Excellent. So for the record, I'm going to find the violation does exist. 63 days to comply,
Thank you, Your Honor.
$50 per day thereafter.
Our next case is on page 1. Property address 1801 South Perimeter Road, 140. Inspector Bobby Mazzula, owner, Cass Airport LLC. Case number BE 2106-0003. Notice posted at the property on 6/30/21, posted at City Hall 7/1/21. This is a new business case.
Good morning, Your Honor. Robert Masola, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, presenting case BE 21060003. Property address 1801 South Perimeter Road, unit number 140. And we have pictures? Okay. Your Honor, this property, I want for the record, is owned by the city of Fort Lauderdale. What was discovered by a Fort Lauderdale fire inspector is the work that was being performed. And I received a phone call, instructed to go out to the property on Tuesday, May 11th. The suspicion of the work being performed by unlicensed contractors, I was assisted by Fort Lauderdale PD. My findings at the property, there was extensive framing, drywall, and electrical work being performed. We met with the two workers at the property, myself and Fort Lauderdale PD. The two workers represented themselves as employees for a company called J&S Carpet and Towel out of Boca Raton. They gave us the contact information for the owner of J&S Carpet, a gentleman by the name of Steve. They told us at the time that their company was licensed and insured. My follow-up, I spoke with the property manager for the property, and I spoke to the tenant that's going to be occupying the space. They confirmed that this person, Steve J&S Carpet, was hired. I called the person, Steve. He admitted he was doing the work. I asked him for his license number. I asked him first if he was a licensed contractor. He told me, yes, I'm a general contractor. I asked him for his license number. He told me he recently obtained his license. He forgot his license number, but he was going to call me back and give me his license number. That never happened. At the time of my site visit on May 11th, a stop work order was placed. And I'm sorry, sir, on May 14th, a stop work order was placed. In the course of my follow-up, when I went to the property about 2 weeks ago, I discovered that the work appears to have continued, and I am led to believe that the stop work order was violated. I again tried to follow up with the property management and the person, Steve, with J&S Carpet in Tala de Boca. I actually called the guy yesterday, and I asked the guy again for his license number. He told me he couldn't provide me a license number. I asked him who hired him to do the work. He told me he was hired by a Mr. Simon Morellis. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And Steve with J&S Carpet told me that he had a fallout with Simon Morellis and he's no longer involved with the project. At this time, there is an applied for permit, BLD CALT 21060024, which is in plan review. It hasn't passed plan review 100%. And based on the inspection report, the corrective actions, I'm asking the magistrate find for the city that the violation exists and order the property representative to come in compliance within 10 days and or a fine of $500 per day thereafter. Thank you.
All right. And who's going to speak on behalf of the owner?
My name's Simon Morales. I'm property manager for the business KAS Airport LLC. We rent the property, of course, from the city. We own the buildings. The city owns the land. Pursuant to Mr. Masula's records, Mr. Masula contacted me originally on May 14th in regards to the stop work order. So I was not aware. I'm not at the property myself. I actually sit in Miami. Our offices are in Miami. Once I was actually informed on the 14th, I've actually reached out to Bobby myself and let him know exactly what he had mentioned. You know, we had hired an actual gentleman named Steve Villalakis. He is J&S Carpet is his primary company's name. He represented to us that he was actually licensed. And yes, he was newly licensed, but you know, that's between, I guess, him and his licensing. He was hired to do the job. He was on vacation at the time. We gave him the okay to go ahead and proceed with regards to the job itself, thinking that he actually had done the proper paperwork for pulling permits. He did not. And obviously, I sorely found that out once the stop work order was issued. At that point in time, I sought to rectify the situation with Steve. And because I could not come to an agreement with him, primarily because I was going to penalize him on the costs associated with the project for not doing what needed to be happen, appropriately, and putting me in this mess to begin with. He and I had a falling out, and so I had to switch gears and go with a different construction company known as Sleewall Construction. From the time in which I was notified about the situation, around about the May 14th on through today, I've made at least 5 different phone calls to Mr. Masula, 2 separate emails, consistently following up with where we're at in the process. To date, we've not only been able to pull and get full architectural drawings, both for structural and electrical, but we've also been able to go ahead and get those submitted in a timely fashion. It was originally submitted on the 17th of June, and it's at this point, all fees have been paid. And so we're waiting for the review process to complete itself so that we can actually proceed. As far as what Mr. Masula is mentioning about additional work being occurred, other than the work that he cites in his actual original citing here with the photos, that I'm not disputing. I know that there was demo work that had occurred and some framing that had occurred. Beyond that, I have no reason to believe any other work occurred other than maybe painting, which is not a permittable item. Now, I had a timeline on this actual project, and so as a result, the painting, again, not being a permittable work, is what I basically have told these guys to continue to complete your painting work, and let's wait for the next inspection. At this point, we're waiting for inspection, and I've made actually a couple attempts to actually have you come out to the property to meet me. You've never returned my phone calls to actually go do so, and that's been on 4 separate occasions. So, I don't necessarily know what you think you saw if you haven't been in the space to see it since the original
Anything else
time.
from the city?
I am curious, Mr. Morales, you say your company owns the building, the city owns the land?
Correct, it's a land lease.
Okay. Are you a licensed real estate agent?
I am not an actual, I don't work in that capacity. I work as a property manager for the corporation.
Okay. Do you hold a CAM license?
No, I don't own a GAN license, personally myself, no.
Okay. Did you hire Mr. Steve Balakis with J&S Carpet?
I did hire, actually, him.
Okay. I believe I asked for a copy of the contract that you entered into with. I've never received that.
Correct. And I have actually never had an actual contract with this gentleman. We actually worked off of a verbal pricing because he actually I gave him the scope of work. He understood it. He's done flooring with me in times past, so I saw no reason to actually go ahead and belabor the process for paperwork. Gentleman's agreement to actually go ahead and do the project at a dollar amount that was agreed to, at which point I agreed to give him the okay to go and proceed.
Completely understandable. A verbal contract is a binding agreement in the state of Florida, so recognizing you acknowledge and hired Mr. Steve Balakis with J&S Carpet, I understand the follow-up through PD with detective will be with the unlicensed contractor, unless if he can prove otherwise. Your Honor, the city's position is defined that the violation exists, 10 days for compliance or a $500 a day fine after. Thank you.
10 days to comply or $500 a day thereafter?
Can we be clear as to what compliance exactly means in this particular instance? Because the paperwork on the actual violation cited is that the actual paperwork be submitted for permit application, including actual architectural drawings, as well as the actual permit application. Both have been actually completed. So is completion, in your mind, in 10 days, approval from the city in that process? Because I can't actually control the city's timeline on that process.
Permits need to be active and issued.
Okay, so do you actually are saying that 10 days is enough for the city to actually fully comply and get that done?
I believe you've already had a good 30 days plus to obtain the permits. Based on when they were applied for, I would suggest you get with your contractor that's applied for the permits to work with plan review to make sure the permits get active and issued within 10 days.
But again, they don't control the city's actual timeline for working through the process if we've got other applications before us. I don't think 10 days is enough, considering this application's already been in process since the 17th of June, and there seems to be actually no real progress to get this done sooner, which I thought would take a little bit sooner. But again, we're at where we're at. And in full disclosure, 10 days is kind of actually a bit brief, considering I jumped on this pretty quickly.
Your Honor, considering the case that's before you, the violations and what's been involved with city resources, the position is 10 days for compliance or a $500 a day fine after. Thank you.
For the record, I'm going to find the violation does exist. 10 days to comply, $500 per day thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 15. Inspector Hector Suarez, property address 3250 Glendale Boulevard, owner Marvin Jones. Case number CE 200-50554. This case was first heard on 12/8/20 to comply by 126/21. Fines were suspended from 4/15/21 to 5/28/21. One section not complied at $50. Fines were imposed on 6/17/21 and continues to accrue. This is a mandatory reappearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez presenting case CE 200505554, 3250 Glendale Boulevard. As of this date, the case is not in compliance. We first heard this case on December 8th, 2020, where the special magistrate found that the violation does exist. We came back April 15th. Special Magistrate Flynn gave a 42-day extension. We came back June 17th, where you imposed the fines. with a mandatory reappearance for today. The case is still not in compliance, permit is not issued. The respondent is here to,
Not in compliance.
they're not in compliance.
Okay. All right. On behalf of the owner, who's going to speak?
I'm going to speak on behalf of the owner, if you don't
All
mind.
right, if you'll step right up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
State your name again, please.
It's Sean G. Rozos.
Okay.
I'm a CGC with SSI Construction. I'm the owner as well. Mr. Jones is an upstanding citizen. I know he's tore down the fence that was requested, and I've been assisting him with the permit, but we haven't been issued the permit yet. I've actually called down there twice, and so has my office manager. He came down over a month ago and resubmitted, but unfortunately I haven't received it. I'm working with him to try to resolve this issue.
Well, I'm not sure what the problem is here. I mean, this goes back a long time. You were given one extension with a suspension of the fines, still not in compliance. So I'm going to grant the city's request to impose the fines, and they continue to accrue.
Can I have a word, sir, please? So what he did is I spoke to the gentleman down there, and he tore down the fence. It was a 4-foot fence on the front, and it was blocking view. So he tore that down, and now he had to get now they have requested for us to get a permit, and he's in action of doing it, but it's taking
All right.
a while.
But let's go ahead, get it into compliance, and stay in touch with this gentleman.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Our next case, oh, should I wait, city attorney?
No, that's it.
Hang on.
No, I was just clarifying with the inspector,
okay.
the fence is still there.
The wood fence,
It just needs a permit.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
But my apologies. It was a short one that I was discussing. It's the time. We'll get that resolved.
The neighbor to the west side also had the fence done too. I don't know, it was all done together. It just needs to get a permit issued. There is a permit on file, which I did tell you about. It just needs to be issued. I mean, it shouldn't take that, I don't know what's going on. I did send an email to one of the permit supervisors to see what's going on with this permit. And I think, Mr. Jones, you have to reach out to them and see what's going on. And all right. All right. All right, just, did they say anything? We'll talk about it in a few. All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is a new business case on page 3. Inspector Mary Rich, property address 2200 Southeast 4th Ave. Owner FTL 22 Venture LLC, case number BE 210-30063. Notice posted at the property on 6/11/21, posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Good morning, Inspector Rich for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case and address are as read. Property was inspected on May 27th, and the following violations were observed as depicted in the photos to be presented. 47-21.9.m. Sections of this vacant lot have no lawn cover. As required, there is a mound of dirt rock that is not level on this vacant lot. 9-306 is complied. 47-19.5.e.7 is complied. The inspection report was mailed to the owner listed in Broward County Records on May 27th, 2021 by administrative staff. As of the pre-hearing inspection on July 14th, the violation 47-21.9.m remains. I have had email and phone contact with property rep Robert Sherman, and he was working on obtaining permits and having the permits issued for work to be conducted on the vacant lot. He was advised that the amount of fill could not exceed top of fencing and was not permitted until permit was issued. The city is requesting 35 days or $50 per day thereafter.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. My name is Robert Sherman. I am the owner's rep for this particular property. I want to thank the city for working with us. The owner of this property has had COVID 3 times and unfortunately has delayed. But just as a matter of record, and I'm sure Ms. Rich and the staff, we actually met with the Homeowners Association last night as well at their semi-annual meetings. There is a building permit on this site. The building permit was issued back 5/7/2020. I brought a copy if we needed. I also emailed a copy. The issue that we now have is just to drop this dirt pile. There was construction that went on. The dirt pile does exceed the height. I was misunderstanding the code requiring that height limitation, but Ms. Rich has done a great job in making sure that I knew about it. We have requested our site contractors to go and drop the site, and I'm hoping that the revision to the permit that we're turning from a 6-unit building to a 4-unit building will be approved. It's been approved through the process. We have only one thing left, which is to get our property addresses for separate units, which are 4, and then we'll have the permit reissued for the new unit. So if we could request possibly the longer extension, just due to this time, to get 63 days to comply with dropping this, I can't control when the site contractor is getting back. It would be greatly appreciated.
Your Honor, the permit is not issued as of this morning. It still is permit PM 17082-317 is awaiting client reply. They did corrections from a six-unit townhouse to a 4-unit townhouse. It's still in zoning review. It's still awaiting corrections from the property owner and/or contractor. This is from the permit screen. I can show you a copy of the permit screen if you'd like to see that.
If you may, Your Honor, under Florida statute, you're allowed to modify building permits. The building permit is issued. I'm holding the building permit in my hand. So what she's talking about is correct, that the revisions that we've submitted to create from a 6-unit building to a 4-unit building is in process as I represented to you. So we are both correct on that statement, if that situation could be. But still, we are proceeding with it. We've already ordered our site contractors to go back. I think Ms. Rich was CC'd on those emails to our contractor. They're trying to get the site contractor back there to drop the pile. We only have to drop it about 3 feet, which is going to top it and drop it below the fencing that we did completely reinstall.
So the mound is the problem now.
That is the only issue, sir. I believe you can speak to the...
They shouldn't need 63 days just to drop the mound below the fence line or level it.
Well, I'll accept the smaller one with the understanding that if the third party can't come back, we would like to request an extension if you see that applications and work has started.
Once the permit is issued and
It has nothing to do with the permit.
and work has actively begun,
Ms.
then-
Rich, no
then it can be
disrespect.
then it is corrected.
Ms. Rich, no disrespect. There is no permit that needs to be done to remove my pile. I have an active permit. I have civil permits. Work's been done. So we are going to proceed as rapidly as we can to get the pile dropped. That's the only open violation. We met with the homeowners association. We met with Mr. Ford yesterday. The head of code enforcement was at the homeowners meeting, and I explained the same thing to them last night. So your
Chief Oliva?
cooperation.
Chief Oliva on behalf of the city. Your Honor, the issue here with the pile, I can't believe that would take more than 36 hours to bring it down 3 feet. That's all what we're talking about. They have the contractor, they have the site, they can have a backup there, a front loader, whatever, and bring that pile down in less than 36 hours. I don't see why we have to go to so many extensions and 63 days. This has been going on since March.
I agree. I'll accept the offer that the city's made, and if for some reason the third party can't come back, I'll have to just come back and request it. But I do agree it should be done rapidly. We made the request last week, and I'm hoping it will be taken care of.
All right, okay. For the record, I found the violation does exist. 35 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Ms. Rich. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 2. It's a new business case. Inspector Alexander Oboris. Property address 745 Northwest 7th Terrace. Owner C&B 745 Northwest 7th Terrace LLC. Case number BE 210-30102. Notice posted at the property on 6/9/21. Posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address is read. I initially visited this property March 29, 2021 to investigate a possible change of use and work without permit complaint as per fire inspector. This property is a multiple unit warehouse building zone industrial. During this inspection, I met with owner and tenant at the time who allowed me access into the building and found that partitions had been built inside the unit. In addition, electrical work had been completed and a kitchen was added, including sink and hood. Records show no permit for the work performed or change of use permit. The property was cited for work and change of use without permit as per FPC 2020, Section 105.1. The case was opened on March 30, 2021. Inspection report mailed to the property owner on March 30, 2021, with 30 days to get into compliance. On July 9, 2021, I visited the property and met with the new property manager, Ms. Brown, who informed me that she represents the new owner and that unit had been vacated. During this inspection, I observed that the unit appears to be vacated. Some of the structures illegally built inside this unit were removed. The following violations remain: frame partition wall built where the kitchen was removed, electrical work performed without permit, and plumbing and sink. As of July 13, 2021, records show no permit application. Mrs. Brown provided me this morning with a copy of a permit application with a date of July 14, 2021 for the electrical work. City is requesting for the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. At this time, I will let the respondent speak.
Thank you. Good morning for all. Good morning, Your Honor.
How many days?
63.
All right, who's going to speak on behalf of the owner?
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning for all. I purchased the property and
Can you state your name for the record, please?
my name is Asi Cabeza. I'm the owner of the property.
Okay, if you speak right into the microphone, please.
Yes, Your Honor. I purchased the property with the violation as is, and I vacant the tenant, and I'm in process to be complying. I just need the time. I need the 63 days to comply and do the old work with permit the right way.
Okay, I'm going to find that the violation does exist, 63 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, our next two cases are on page 11. Inspector Hector Suarez presenting on behalf of Inspector Matthew Miller. Property address 1117 Northeast 18th Court. Owner 1117 Investments LLC. Case number BE 210-60033. This case was cited on 6/4/21 to comply by 6/5/21. One section complied at $150. City is requesting a full amount of $2,100. Appeal deadline was 6/19/21. No appeal received.
Tasha, is this 33 at the end?
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez presenting case BE 210-60033, 1117 Northeast 18 Court, presenting for Inspector Matthew Miller. On June 4th, 2021, a citation violation notice was completed and posted for 257A, obstruction of right-of-way. On June 20th, 2021, the violation came into compliance, but as of this date, the civil penalty has not been paid. On June 28, 2021, the notice of hearing was posted to the property. The city is requesting full imposition.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right to the microphone and state your name, please.
My name is Renato Lerner. I agree with him. If can I give us a waive, it's good. If not, I think I need to pay.
Okay, so this is a citation case.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the citation was issued, appeal deadline was June 19th, no appeal was received, and in accordance with the terms of the ordinance, I'm going to impose the fine of $2,100. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
At the bottom of page 11, case number BE 210-60034. This case was cited on 6/4/21 to comply by 6/5/21. One section complied at $150. City is requesting a full amount of $2,100. The appeal deadline was 6/19/21. No appeal received.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez presenting case as read. On June 4th, 2021, a citation violation notice was completed and posted for 2514. There is silt sediment matter discharging into streets at this location. On June 20th, the violation came into compliance, but as of this date, the civil penalty has not been paid. On June 28th, 2021, the notice of hearing was posted to the property. The city is requesting full imposition.
All right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record again.
Renato Lerner. It's agree.
All right. Okay,
Thank you, Your
again,
Honor.
this is a citation case, June 19th, 2021. No appeal was filed in accordance with the ordinance. I'm obligated to impose the fine of $2,100. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, sir. Just to let you know, that other case, because you signed in for 3 cases, that case is closed. Okay. All right, thank you. This concludes all our respondents. I would like to go on after a quick 5-minute break, please.
5-minute recess.
Thank you.
Maybe even 10.
Okay. Instead of starting back on page 3, I'm just going to call Massey case, imposition of fines case on page 18. Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 2124 Northeast 63rd Street, case number CE 200503777. Owner Maximilian B. Aceta, Jacqueline S. Aceta. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 5/20/21. One section not complied at $50. Fines continue to accrue.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. The city is requesting a 35-day extension and fines to be stopped.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
35-day extension
All right.
and fines to be stopped.
Okay, all right. I'm going to grant a 35-day extension, stay the fines as of this date.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving back to page 3 at the top for the new business cases. Inspector Mary Rich, property address 550 East Campus Circle. Owner Christopher Anthony Prasad. Case number VE 210-30037. Notice posted at the property on 6/22/21. Posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Rich for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case and addresses as read. Property was inspected on March 10th, 2021, and after review with the building inspector, Mario Carrasquel, 30-day courtesy notice was posted at the property for the following violation that is depicted in the photos. 9-1D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits consistent of, but not limited to, new stamped concrete driveway that does not meet the minimum City of Fort Lauderdale engineering standards for driveways, neither the minimum specs for the ADA requirements. I received a phone call from the property owner and have had contact with him regarding the notice, and was requested to meet at the property. I responded to the location, the property, with Building Inspector Carrasquel on March 11th, 2021, and met with the property owner, and he was informed regarding permit required for the stamped concrete driveway. An inspection report was mailed to owner listed in Broward County records on March 11th, 2021 by administrative staff. As of the pre-hearing inspection on July 14th, the violation removes. Permit BLD-RPAV-210-30031 is still awaiting client reply, but has not been issued as of this date. The city is requesting 35 days or $50 per day thereafter.
No appearances. We're all done with appearances, okay. I find the violation does exist, 35 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Page 4, Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 15 Southwest 7th Street. Owner, Gunter LLC, case number BE 210-10032. Notice posted at the property 6/28/21, posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Good morning. Inspector Saragusti on behalf of the city presenting the case as read. This case was opened on January 14, 2021. I visited the property and talked with Mr. Santiago Callejas, scene manager, and the inspection report was mailed out on January 15, 2021. Final notice was mailed on April 23, 2021, and notice of hearing was mailed out on May 25, 2021. The property has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permit and inspections in the following manner, but not limited to the shed installation without a permit. City is requesting 42 days to comply or $50 per day thereafter.
I'm sorry, how many days? Days?
42 days.
42, okay. I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Our next case, 1001 Arizona Ave. Owner, Rosalind Y. Jackson. Case number BE 200502224. Notice posted at the property 62821, posted at City Hall 7121.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. Permit were left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The city is asking the owner to come in compliance within the next 42 days or fine of $50 per day thereafter.
All right, I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Property address 1533 Northeast 16th Ave. Owner Kenneth J. Stevenson. Case number BE 200600028. Notice posted at the property on 6/25/21. Posted at City Hall 7121.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. Permit were left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The city is asking the owner to come in compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Property address 2029 North Ocean Boulevard, number 406. Owner Gerald R. Miles. Case number BE 200600174. Notice posted at the property on 6/25/21. Posted at City Hall 7121.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. Permit were left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The city is asking the owner to come in compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 5. Property address 3410 Gulf Ocean Drive, number 1709N. Case number BE 200700299. Owner Giovanni Alonghi, Kathy Tambosa. Notice posted at the property on 6/25/21. Posted at City Hall 7121.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. Permit were left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The city is asking the owner to come in compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Going to page 6 at the top, Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 1332 Northeast 5th Ave. Case number BE 201-20023. Owner V. Macalopolis and E. Carrera Revocable Trust. V. Malacopas, I'm sorry, I'm totally messing up this name. Michaelopoulos, V. Trustee, and all others. Notice posted at the property on 6/22/21. Posted at City Hall 7121.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Martinez representing the city. Case and address as read. I visited this property and observed installation of new subfloor members, raising the flat roof elevation, installation of new roof beams on the perimeter walls, new roof deck, and new roof covering. There were some issued permits by the city in this property, but they were not included in the scope of work of this violation that I just listed. The property was cited for work without permits under FPC 2017, Section 105.1. This case was opened on December 18th of 2020. A final notice was mailed to the property owner in January 27, 2021. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on June 22nd of 2021. The roof permit was applied on April 8th on the structural areas that were altered. We are asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
Okay, say 63 days, 6/3.
6/3, yes, sir.
All right, I find the violation does exist, 63 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Property address 1625 Southeast 10th Ave, 805. Owner David C. Martin, case number BE 210-40015. Notice posted at the property 6/23/21, posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Inspector Martino representing the city, case and address as read. I visited this property and met with the owner, Mr. David, who granted me access into the property. While inside the property, I observed the kitchen cabinets and kitchen floor was removed. Mr. David explained to me that he was thinking in using Home Depot to complete the work. The property was cited for work without permit on the FBC 2017, Section 105.1. This case was opened on April 6, 2021. The inspection report was mailed out to the property on April 7th of 2021. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on June 23rd of 2021. As today, no permit application has been submitted. Mr. David, the owner, called me and informed me that he would be out of the state the date of the hearing. But he's working with Home Depot, and they are about to submit for the permit application. We are asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 63 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Property address 1724 Southwest 11th Street. Owner Samantha Jean Plotkin. Case number BE 210-30077. Notice posted at the property on 6/12/21. Posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Inspector Martino representing the city, a case and address as read. Your Honor, I visited the property and the tenant from Unit A granted me access into the property to verify the installation of a new interior electrical panel. And during my inspection, I also observed that there were new impact windows installed, as well as new exterior doors. The property was cited for work without permit on the FBC 2017, Section 105.1. This case was opened on April 6 of 2021. Inspection report was mailed out to the property owner on March 22nd of 2021. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on June 12th of 2021. Electrical permit was applied on June 24th of 2021 and is about to be issued. No permit application has been submitted for the windows and doors. Samantha, the owner, contacted me on July 8th, and she told me that she's working to try to obtain information about the window. As a matter of fact, his father was here this morning, and he explained that the same thing to me, and he asked me for some direction on how he can justify that the windows were installed without permit, because they bought the property and they didn't install the windows themselves. So we are asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 63 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 7 at the top. Property address 2600 Southwest 30th Ave. Case number CE-200100256. Owner Charles E. Biggie, 2017 Trust. Notice posted at the property 5/28/21. Posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Your Honor, Inspector Leo Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. We visited this property after receiving a complaint, and we observed that a boat lift was installed, and there was no permit on records on the city. The property was cited for work without permit on the FBC 2017, Section 105.1. This case was opened on January 8th of 2021. The inspection report was mailed out to the property on February 24th, 2020. The case was opened on January 8th of 2020. The inspection report was mailed out to the property owner on February 24th of 2020. And the notice of hearing was posted at the property on May 28th of 2021. On January 5th, 2021, a boat lift permit was applied on January 5th of 2021. The permit has correction pending since January 15th of 2021, so meaning that they haven't answered the corrections. Mr. Biggie, the owner, contacted me on June 3rd, and I explained to him that I would request an extension at the hearing to help him in the process of obtaining the required permit. We are asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 63 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 1031 Southwest 4th Street. Case number CE 201-20803. Owner, Vincent Todd Cesara and Veronica Cesara. Notice posted at the property on 6/29/21. Posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. 9-1D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to a new wood fence. I reviewed the case on 7/9/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. The city will request 42 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Property address 1301 Northwest 24th Ave. Case number CE 200-80564. Owner, Valdez Castellanos, Jose Ricardo, Espinel Colindres, and Maria Y. Notice posted at the property on 6/29/21. Posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. 9-1D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to 2 sheds and 2 shaded structures on back of the property. I reviewed the case on 7/9/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. The city will request 63 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Okay, I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day.
63. 63.
63 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Page 8 at the top. Property address 1480 Southwest 9th Ave. Owner, Sunshine Cathedral Foundation, Inc. Case number BE 200-60006. Notice posted at the property on 6/25/21. Posted at City Hall 7/1/21.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda, and as of 7/9/2021 remain expired. The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Property address 1545 Northeast 5th Ave. Case number BE 200-60044. Owner, Jude Pention. Notice posted at the property on 6/30/21. Posted at City Hall 7/1/21. I'm sorry. Yeah, 7/1/21.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda, and as of 7/9/2021 remain expired. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Property address 2525 Flamingo Lane. Case number CE-200-20003. Owner, Harriet G. Shorn Revocable Livable Trust. Harriet G. Shorn Trustee. Notice posted at the property on 6/25/21. Posted at City Hall on 7/1/21.
Can I double check this for a second? I need to check.
Okay. Katie, those are the pictures for that one I just called? Oh, okay.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. 9-1D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to a new dock. I reviewed the case on 7/9/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. The city will request 91 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
How many days?
91.
Okay. I find the violation does exist, 91 days to comply, $50 per day there.
Moving on to page 9, property address 3050 Northwest 17th Street. Case number CE 200711326. Owner Whole One LLC. Notice posted at the property 62921. Posted at City Hall 7121.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. 9-1D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to a new wood fence. I reviewed the case on 7/9/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. The city will request 42 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Property address 3690 Southwest 22nd Street. Case number CE 19031498. Owner Joseph Sanko. Notice posted at the property on 6/25/21. Posted at City Hall 7121.
This building has been, Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits and inspections in the following manner, but not limited to: roof structure built on rear of the property, pavers in rear of the yard, and a shed. I reviewed the case on 7/9/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. The city will request 63 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
6-3.
6-3.
Okay. I find the violation does exist, 63 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 12, Chief Inspector George Oliva. Property address 3000 Northeast 48th Street. Owner Wellington Association, Inc. A condominium. Case number CE 181000633. This case was first heard on 2/12/19 to comply by 3/26/19. Fine suspended as noted in the agenda. One section complied at $100. City is requesting to reduce the fines to administrative costs of $1,275.
The city's request to reduce the fine to administrative cost of $1,275 is granted.
Thank you. Property address 3051 Northeast 47th Court. Owner Wayne House Association, Inc. Case number CE 19061129. This case was first heard on 11/12/19 to comply by 12/24/19. Fine suspended as noted. One section complied at $100. City is requesting to reduce the fines to administrative costs of $1,275.
Okay, the city's request is granted.
Property address 528 Coconut Isle Drive. Owner JWO Real Estate Investment 1. Case number BE 201-00024. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting the full amount of $3,150.
The city's request to impose the fine of $3,150 is granted.
You want to say something on the other? Oh. Page 13, Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 929 Orange Isle, case number CE 200-90625. Owner Jorge and Barbara Ann Iguez, I think. This case was cited on 9/17/20 to comply by 10/17/20. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $250. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $51,500, which continues to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
Your Honor,
Oh,
excuse me. Inspector Martinez representing the city, case and address as read. Your Honor, Mr. West, the owner trust a contractor with the repairs that were happening in this house. He wasn't aware that the contractor didn't apply for permits. Since I spoke to him, he been working all the time, and he has all the permits applied. For that reason, Your Honor, I would like to I'm requesting to stop the fines and to grant an extension of 63 days for him to comply. Like I said, all the permits has been applied to the city, and they are in process, Your Honor.
Okay, so the city's requesting a 63-day extension
And to hold the fines,
and
please.
stay the fines, and that request is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Property address 2424 Northwest 21st Street. Owner Drax Investments Properties 3 LLC. Case number BE 200-20063. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 3/30/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $1,050.
The city's request is granted.
Property address 49 Fiesta Way. Case number BE 200-40030. Owner Christopher M. Donato. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting the full amount of $5,200, which continues to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
Property address 5421 Bayview Drive. Owner Ira Epstein. Case number BE 200-80077. This case was first heard on 4/15/21 to comply by 5/27/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
The request is granted.
Page 14, property address 5555 North Federal Highway. Case number BE 200-80079. Owner Coral Ridge Presbyterian Church, Inc. This case was first heard on 4/15/21 to comply by 5/27/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting no fines imposed. Zero fines.
City's request is granted.
Property address 6299 Bay Club Drive, number 6299-2. Case number BE 200-80108. Owner Carmen W. Schick. This case was first heard on 4/15/21 to comply by 5/27/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
Page 16? Yes, page 16. Property at the bottom, property address 3120 Southwest 17th Street. Owner Select Ocean Holding LLC, case number BE 200-60161. City is requesting to vacate the order and imposing the fine on 12/8/20.
All right, the city's request to vacate the order imposing fines is granted.
Okay. Page 17, property address 480 Northeast 13th Street, case number BE 200-40363. Owner, Law Offices of Champaign and Surin, PA. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/22/21. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. City is requested to impose the full amount of $2,350, which continues to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
Case number BE 200-40445. Property address 528 North Birch Road. Owner Birch Road LLC. City is requesting to vacate the order imposing fines on 5/20/21.
The city's request is granted.
Okay. Page 18, property address 1464 Southwest 30th Terrace. Case number CE 1906-1427. Owner Brittany A. Notch. This case was first heard on 10/13/20 to comply by 12/15/20. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting a 63-day extension.
The city's request for a 63-day extension is granted.
Thank you. Property address 2561 Northwest 18th Court, case number CE 201-00501, owner NBA Properties Corp. This case was first heard on 4/15/21 to comply by 5/20/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting no fines imposed.
The city's request is granted and no fines will be imposed.
Okay. Property address 237 City View Drive, case number BE 200400173. Owner John Radiker. The city is requesting to vacate the order imposing the fines from 5/20/21.
The city's request is granted.
At this time, Your Honor, we would like to have all the cases listed on page 19 into the record as closed.
So ordered.
Thank you. This concludes our July 15, 2021 Special Magistrate Hearing for Building Division. Thank you.